James and the Trouble with Trees. Thomas had been working in the yard all day. He was covered in coal dust after shunting some coal trucks earlier. "We can't clean you up tonight, Thomas," said a nearby worker. "There's a problem with the hose pipe." "Bother," said Thomas. "A washdown will make me feel much better. The others are sure to say I look silly." When Thomas returned to the sheds, the other engines were too busy arguing to notice him. James was talking loudest of all. "I deserve a new coat of paint. The Fat Control says I'm the pride of the line and—" "Rubbish! We're all pride of the line," huffed Henry. "It's been like this all day," confided Percy to Thomas. "James is getting a new coat of paint and won't stop boasting about it." "Why, James? I'm the one who needs a new coat. Look at me." "I'd rather not. You're not a pleasant sight, and won't understand the needs of a really important engine," retorted James. Thomas was fuming. The next day, as James was being repainted, Henry was pushing some trucks nearby when he had an accident. The front truck derailed as it hit a set of points, and the rest followed. James saw everything. "If you can't push trucks properly, Henry, why not talk to some trees instead? You know how much you like the forest. As a matter of fact, bossy boiler, the Fat Controllers were expecting the islands were trees who are too close to the line. He was worried they might cause trouble," replied Henry. "Pah," laughed James. "If I came upon a tree, I'll just push it aside." "Really?" replied Henry back. Soon James showed off his paintwork. "Make way for an important engine," he said to Thomas and Percy in Henry's forest. "You won't feel important if one of those trees crash on you. You'll feel hurt," approached Percy. "Rubbish, Percy! It wouldn't dare." "You should be careful, James. Trees can be just as powerful as engines," replied Terence. "Oh, please. Now, if you excuse me, the Fat Controller is asking me to pull a passenger train," and he huffed away. But James was wrong when he arrived at the station. "Where are my coaches?" "There's been a change of plans. You must go to the yards and collect a goods train. It's heavy, so be careful," said the Fat Controller. "But sir, I just have been repainted. Can't Thomas and Percy do it? They're dirty and like working with trucks. Really useful engines, don't argue." So James didn't. By the time he arrived at the yards, the weather had changed for the worse. "Your color's nice, James. Pity about your face, though," said Truck, and the others laughed. James ignored them and set off. James did not enjoy himself at all. The trucks were bouncy and rude and laughing and making jokes about James. Soon they approached Henry's forest. "Watch the track, James," said his driver, but James didn't listen. Up ahead, an old tree close to the track was being blown by the strong winds, and the rain had weakened the slope. All of a sudden, the tree moved. James saw everything and quickly applied his brakes and stopped just in time, right in front of the tree. "Oh, help!" cried James. "Go away!" But of course the tree couldn't. Worrying that the tree might fall on him, he tried to reverse away from it, but his train was too heavy. "It's no use," he cried out. Then he heard a whistle. "It's Thomas," called his driver. Thomas was nearby when it happened and raced over to help. James felt embarrassed and worried that Thomas would laugh at him, but Thomas didn't. He knew that this was no time for teasing. "Beep beep, I'm ready," whistled Thomas. "So am I," James replied. "As ready as I'll ever be." They reversed just in time, as the tree fell onto the track with a crash. When they returned to the sheds, James apologized to Thomas about his remark earlier. "Percy and Terence were right about the danger of trees. Thank you for rescuing me, Thomas." "Oh, that's all right, James. We engines must help each other out, whatever the weather." Just then, Edward bustled up. "The Fat Controller heard everything about your actions, Thomas, and he says you are a brave engine, and you're going to have a new coat of paint as an award. And James, he said that you did a good job pulling that train, in spite of the little incident, and tomorrow you're going to pull the Special Express." Both Thomas and James are very happy.